Cardi B is scared for her life, and after everything that's been happening, it's not hard to see why. From a newborn baby allegedly caught in a public social media drama, to threats, stalking, and obsession from someone she once trusted. This isn't just celebrity gossip anymore. What started as petty posts online has spiraled into something deeply personal and frightening. Tonight, we're breaking down every shocking detail, the legal twists, the emotional toll, and why Cardi says some nights she lies awake thinking, "This isn't normal. I honestly can't even deal with this anymore. Some nights I lie in bed and think, this isn't normal." Cardi B is right, she's been telling people the truth, and it's serious. This obsession, the refusal to sign divorce papers, it's not just drama, it's real life, and it's getting messy. Let's break it down. Cardi B and Offset filed for divorce back in July 2024. But here's the kicker, it's not finalized. Legally, they're still married. That fact is about to become really important. Now Cardi allegedly just had a baby boy. Huge congratulations, of course. But rumors online claim the father is NFL player Stefon Diggs. Cardi reportedly made the announcement on November 13th, and naturally, the internet went wild. Memes, opinions, theories, you know the drill. Then Offset allegedly posts on his Instagram story saying, "My kid, LOL. Yep, with a LOL at the end, like it's some kind of joke." He deletes it shortly after, but of course, screenshots never die. Within minutes, it's everywhere. Reactions to Offset's "My kid LOL" post were all over the place. Some people found it hilarious, seeing it as petty in that we live for this kind of drama way. They laughed, joked about how petty he was being, and shared memes that spread like wildfire across social media. To them, it was just another moment in the ongoing saga of Cardi B and Offset celebrity chaos that felt almost like entertainment. But for others, it was uncomfortable, strange, and honestly concerning. People questioned why he would post something so personal and provocative. Why draw attention to a situation that involves a newborn and the very real feelings of the mother? Why publicly claim a child in a way that feels more like trolling than anything else? Many viewers didn't see it as a joke. They saw it as a troubling overstep, an invasion of privacy that could have serious consequences. And then there's Cardi B. Unlike the casual viewers scrolling through their feeds, she reportedly wasn't laughing. She was reportedly furious. Understandably so. This wasn't just a tweet or a joke. It was a public statement about something incredibly private and personal. Something that could have legal implications. For Cardi, the post wasn't just annoying or petty. It was serious. And it struck a nerve that went far beyond typical celebrity drama. Here's where things get legally complicated. Georgia law has a specific rule that not many people are familiar with. If a woman gives birth while she is legally married, her husband is automatically considered the legal father of that child, no matter the biological reality. This means that even if another man is the biological father, the law initially recognizes the husband as the child's legal parent unless paternity is formally contested and proven otherwise through the courts. In this case, that means Offset, legally speaking, is still considered the father of Cardi B's new child. Until Stefon Diggs goes through the court system to formally establish paternity, the law presumes Offset is the legal dad. That's why his post claiming "my kid" isn't just some petty joke or a trolling comment. Even if he isn't the biological father, in the eyes of Georgia law, that statement carries weight. It's more than just words on a screen. It's a claim that intersects with the law in a way that could have real consequences for Cardi B and the child. The implications are huge. On one hand, it's easy for the public to see this as just another moment in celebrity drama, something to laugh at or meme about. But legally, this is not trivial. If someone in Cardi's position didn't understand how the law works, they could find themselves in a complicated situation involving child support, custody disputes, and other legal entanglements, all while trying to navigate an already stressful personal life. Offset's post may seem simple, but it's layered with legal nuance that makes the situation much more serious than many viewers realize. Cardi's reaction makes perfect sense in this context. Beyond the personal emotions, anger, frustration, disbelief, there's a real concern about what this post could mean in practical, legal terms. By posting "my kid," Offset is publicly asserting a claim that might affect Cardi's ability to establish legal paternity with Stefon Diggs. It could influence public perception, legal negotiations, and even her personal sense of security as a mother trying to protect her child's future. It's also a reflection of how social media complicates everything. The post may have been deleted, but screenshots don't disappear. Once something is online, it can be shared endlessly. interpreted in countless ways, and used as evidence in legal or personal disputes. The speed at which information spreads online means that a single impulsive post can have ramifications far beyond what anyone initially imagines. This moment also underscores the complicated intersection between celebrity life, personal boundaries, and public scrutiny. For most people, a dispute about paternity would remain private, handled in courtrooms or through personal communication. For Cardi B and Offset, however, it's played out on a massive public stage, with millions of eyes watching every move, every word, every post. What might be a private matter for anyone else becomes a viral event with public commentary, memes, and opinions, amplifying the stress and intensity of the situation. And from a human perspective, it's easy to see why Cardi would be upset. This is her child, her private life, and her legal rights potentially being challenged in the most public way imaginable. It's not just about pettiness, it's about protecting her family, her child, and her personal dignity. For any parent, the idea that someone is publicly claiming your child in a joking or provocative manner would be disturbing. For Cardi, it's compounded by her history with Offset, the ongoing divorce proceedings, and the highly public nature of her life. At the end of the day, this situation is a stark reminder that social media isn't just entertainment. Words carry consequences, especially when legal matters and family dynamics are involved. What looks like a joke on Instagram can become a legally significant claim, and what seems like petty drama can have real emotional and practical effects. Cardi's anger is justified, her caution is understandable, and the situation is a reminder that public figures, like anyone else, deserve respect and privacy when it comes to deeply personal matters like children and family. That's not just drama. That's revenge. That's humiliation. That's crossing someone's personal boundaries in the worst way possible. Imagine being in that position, feeling like someone you once trusted, someone you were married to, is actively trying to make your life miserable. Publicly, privately, emotionally, and legally. That's the kind of stress that most people can't even imagine. And yet Cardi B has been living it. In her latest Twitter Spaces session, Cardi reportedly opened up about her fear. She allegedly said she's genuinely scared that Offset might try to harm her. Those were reportedly her own words. And when she said, "Do what you gotta do," it didn't come off as a joke or some melodramatic exaggeration for social media clicks. It sounded real, raw, and terrifying. That statement alone is heavy. It's the kind of honesty that most people rarely voice publicly, because most people can't. Fear is not something to make light of, especially when it involves your own safety and that of your children. The situation isn't new either. Cardi's fears, according to reports, stem from months of behavior she found threatening. Allegedly, Offset has been obsessively fixated on her, refusing to accept the divorce, and even making public claims about her child. On social media, he posted "My kid LOL" in a moment that many might think is playful trolling. But for Cardi, it was terrifying. It was more than a joke. It was a violation, a statement that disregarded her autonomy, her privacy, and her rights as a mother. The fact that he deleted it quickly does little to undo the damage. Screenshots live forever. And for Cardi, the impact is very real. It's easy for outsiders to dismiss this as celebrity drama, gossip, or entertainment. But for anyone who has faced harassment, obsession, or threats, it's far from a game. There's a psychological weight that comes with knowing someone you once loved might be trying to manipulate, intimidate, or control your life. According to reports, Cardi has experienced these behaviors for months, not just as random incidents, but as a pattern: stalking, leaving threatening messages, trying to undermine her mental health, and even allegedly sharing private materials in ways that are both invasive and cruel. This is why her fear is so palpable. This is why she felt the need to speak out publicly. She also reportedly shared that dealing with someone with such obsessive behavior is exhausting. She tried to be patient. She tried to reach out to family and other support systems. She tried to remain calm and act as the bigger person. But nothing worked. The obsession, the harassment, and the public intrusion into her life have persisted, leaving her in a constant state of vigilance. Imagine never feeling truly safe in your own life, your own home, or your own social interactions. That's the reality Cardi allegedly faces. And it's easy to understand why she is frightened. What's even more concerning is that this is happening while she's raising a child. Being a parent in these circumstances adds another layer of responsibility and worry. It's not just her safety at stake, it's the safety and well-being of her newborn child. The alleged actions and public claims make it more complicated legally, emotionally, and psychologically. For Cardi, every post, every comment, every social media interaction from Offset could feel like a potential threat. And that's not exaggeration, that's trauma. At the heart of all this is a simple truth: this situation is dangerous. This isn't casual drama or playful celebrity beef, this is real life. This is a person expressing fear for her life, trying to navigate threats while protecting herself and her family. And the fact that she publicly voiced this fear in Twitter Spaces is a sign of just how serious it is. She's alerting the world, and maybe even the legal system, that what's happening isn't just personal conflict. It's potential harm. This story isn't meant to shame or attack anyone. It's a wake-up call for people who dismiss these situations as entertainment or gossip. Real fear, real harassment, and real obsession exist in the lives of real people, celebrities or not. Cardi's situation is a reminder that crossing boundaries, invading privacy, and refusing to respect someone's autonomy can have serious emotional, legal, and psychological consequences. In the end, this is about safety, respect, and responsibility. Cardi's alleged fear is not something to brush off. It's a call to take harassment and obsessive behavior seriously, to recognize the signs, and to understand the impact it has on real lives. For Cardi, "Do what you gotta do" wasn't bravado. It was a declaration of survival, a reminder that protecting herself and her family comes first. And it should be taken seriously by everyone. During the conversation, one caller shared something that left everyone quiet for a moment. A dream they said they'd had months before any of this drama became public. This wasn't after the rumors, not after the divorce news, and definitely not after Cardi's pregnancy was revealed. According to the caller, the dream came long before the world even knew anything was happening in Cardi's personal life. In that dream, they saw her future ex-husband sending people to follow her around, not in a playful or harmless way, but in a dark, unsettling way, the kind that leaves you waking up with your heart racing. They described strangers popping up everywhere Cardi went, watching her, tracking her, and keeping tabs on her every move. The dream even showed him showing up at the same hotels she checked into, almost as if he wanted her to know she wasn't alone, but not in a comforting way, more like a warning. At the time, the caller said they brushed it off. Dreams can be strange, random, and sometimes meaningless. But when the recent events came to light, Offset refusing to back off, still inserting himself into Cardi's life, and publicly claiming the baby as his, the caller said everything suddenly clicked. The dream didn't feel random anymore. It felt like a sign they didn't understand until now. They weren't claiming to be psychic or dramatic. They were simply sharing how eerie it felt to look back on that dream and see the similarities between what they'd imagined and what was now happening in real life. It was chilling for them, and honestly, it was chilling for everyone listening. The emotional energy in the room shifted because when multiple people start noticing the same pattern of behavior, it becomes harder to write it off as coincidence. For the caller, the dream wasn't about predicting the future. It was about recognizing a feeling, the same feeling Cardi has reportedly been describing: being watched, being followed, being unable to live freely without worrying someone might be tracking her steps. Hearing Cardi speak about her fears, and then watching Offset make bold, public claims about her child, made the entire situation feel too close to that dream for comfort. And it wasn't just the content of the dream that stood out, it was the timing. This person had no insider information, no reason to suspect anything, and no idea what Cardi was going through. Yet the dream mirrored the fear, the pressure, and the sense of being hunted that Cardi recently voiced. When the caller said, "Now it all makes sense," you could tell they meant it. Everything that felt abstract in the dream suddenly felt real. The moment became a reminder of how deeply people can sense danger, sometimes even before it fully surfaces. And for many listeners, it added another layer to an already unsettling situation. Cardi's fear wasn't coming out of nowhere. People could feel it, sense it, and even dream about it. That says a lot about how intense and serious this entire situation has become. They told her straight up, "Protect yourself, protect your kids. Something is not right with this man." They said they felt uneasy the moment they dreamed about it. And when the stalking accusations came out back in March and April, they believed Cardi needed to act immediately. According to them, Offset seemed obsessed, unstable, and unwilling to let go to the point where it felt dangerous. Cardi has every right to speak up. She has every right to warn people, because nothing about this situation is normal. Not the obsession, not the refusal to sign the papers, not the way he's allegedly trying to tear her down. And the craziest part, he cheated throughout the entire marriage, so why is he the one acting bitter now? She's finally choosing herself, and instead of letting her move on, he's reportedly doing everything he can to pull her back into chaos. This isn't entertainment. This isn't just celebrity gossip. When someone feels unsafe in their own life, it's real, it's dangerous, and it can end badly if ignored. Toward the end of her spaces, Cardi sounded exhausted, completely worn down. She said she can't take it anymore. She said that some nights she lies there thinking, yo, this is not normal. And she's right, it isn't. She talked about seeing crime documentaries, seeing stories online about women being harmed every single day. She said she's strong. She's tough, but there's a difference between being tough and dealing with someone who has an unhealthy obsession with you, and that's when you have to get concerned. She's tired. She's tried being kind. She tried reaching out to family. She tried staying calm, but nothing is working. She wants to detach, but the situation keeps dragging her back in. She said it feels like a nightmare. And worst of all, people online think it's funny. This isn't funny. It's serious. Dealing with someone who's unstable or struggling with substances is not a joke. And yet, you've got these grown men out here saying things like, just be petty, just get back at them. No, that's not cute. That's not clever. That's not okay, especially when someone is raising their kids and trying to protect themselves. People need to grow up. You wouldn't be laughing if it was your sister, your cousin, or your mother in this situation. It wouldn't be a game if it were someone you actually cared about. This isn't a competition. It's not a joke. I've moved on with my life. I don't play games. I don't respond to nonsense. I try to be the bigger person every time, but make no mistake, this situation is serious. If I were to show everything I've been dealing with, people would see just how far this goes. It's not funny. And one day, everyone will realize that this is real, this is heavy, and it deserves to be taken seriously.